VHS Files contains spoilers, adult content, and harsh language. Listener discretion is advised.
It's showtime. It's showtime.
Welcome to the VHS Files Podcast with Jenny Lou,
So what do you want to do tonight?
Jason,
What about pizza and movie night?
Eric,
I want to rent a movie.
and Josh.
I want to go to a good video store so I can get a good movie.
And this is the movie of the week.
Get this pizza movie night started.
Welcome back to the VHS Files Podcast, where we go back in time for a movie of the week. We try to find the almost famous, a bigger quote, and the good, the bad, and the ugly of our favorite movies. And I just got to say, happy 1 year anniversary, everybody.
Woo! Yeah!
It's As you are listening to this, I think to the day that this episode will come out will be 1 year that we have been podcasting, and we cannot believe it ourselves.
We did it.
We did it. I remember I was telling Jenny today, I remember back, I think on our Beetlejuice episode, that I was like, hey guys, we got to 6 episodes. It's a milestone. We've managed to keep this train rolling for a year amidst a ton of setbacks, unexpected life events, COVID. COVID was really the reason this started, to be honest.
This was birthed from COVID.
I had COVID.
Yeah. Jason's missed a few episodes because he had COVID. So, but we've managed to keep it going. And surprisingly, we have released content on average every week for the past year, which, I mean, with all the setbacks we've had with some things, I'm surprised that, you know, if you average everything that we've put out an episode a week, really. And I mean, I couldn't be happier for something like this. So
yeah. And credit to you, Josh, our fearless leader.
Hey.
Our editor. Nobody puts more time into this podcast than Josh here, so we got to give Josh some credit here.
Well,
Josh
hey.
is the backbone, the brains, the eyeballs, the ooey gooeys, if you want to, of this podcast.
Well, thank you so much. And I also want to give a shout out to everybody out there that's been listening to us over the past year. We've made a handful of really good friends over this time. I want to give a shout out to Troy and Brad over at the Not a Bomb podcast.
Yeah.
We were, those guys I've been on their show a couple of times. Eric's been on there. We're trying to get Jason on there at some point, but those guys are awesome. Please, if you haven't checked out Not a Bomb podcast, check them out. They're wherever you get your podcast, just like us. You can go listen to them, and they talk about movies that were bombs and if they were actually a bomb or if they're actually a decent movie. So if you haven't listened to them, please check them out. Want to give a shout out to our friend in California, Kate, who listens to all of our episodes. She's probably our biggest fan, to be honest.
No, more than likely. Let's give a shout out to our buddy Nathan, who's been a guest on our show a few times.
Mr. Nathan Simmons has been on a couple of times, and I will actually be on his podcast in a couple of weeks talking about a movie on the Silver Linings playlist. Again, if you haven't checked those guys out, go check them out.
That's a good show.
Damn sure is. I'll be talking about Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor next week. I'm so excited.
The other thing is because I really wanted something to do to show you that I care about the show, since I don't do near as much as Josh or Eric does, except, make fun of Eric's movie choices. Let's see. Our podcast runs 84 hours and 38 minutes. If you have listened to every episode of what we have done, which equals 3 days, 12 hours and 38 minutes of glorious content from all of our lovely mouths that you hear every day.
Our lovely mouths.
Our lovely mouths, just bearded face, and Josh's beautiful face, and your red hair, and Jenny's red hair. We just make a great team. That's a lot of minutes. So, Kate, if you have listened to every episode, you're fucking awesome.
Yeah, and we're sorry.
And we apologize.
Well, we hope to grow over the next coming year, so we're not going anywhere. There's no plans of us stopping. We've even managed to start a sub show of the horror section where Jason and I, and occasionally Eric, will get on and talk about horror movies. doing our mini-sodes and finally got our YouTube channel up and running. So you can see me there doing YouTube videos and giving reviews and things of that nature. So it's been an adventurous year for us. But going into the new year, I've got a couple of questions I wanted to ask you guys about our show. What are some of your favorite moments or surprises from the past year? I'll throw it to Jason. How about that?
Oh God, man! I just did all that stuff. I'm winded. I'm just kidding.
He's winded from COVID. He's got long COVID.
I still haven't got over the COVID. That's just a fucking funny thing. People, go get your goddamn shot. What was the question again? The things I enjoyed over the past year. I like that we did start the horror section. I think I'll probably watch more horror movies than everybody here because that's. I mean, shoot, I even got a Halloween backdrop behind me. So, I love when we got to do our first horror section episode, which was Phantasm, which was a childhood favorite and a scarring childhood memory for me. When we did the Terrifier, I believe Eric was on that with us. That was our first like newer movie that we done period on the whole.
I was going to bring up Terrifier as well. Like we all kind of just sort of threw that movie out there and we're like, hey, I just watched this. Jason watched this. Eric, why don't you watch this and we'll talk about it? And that was a really fun episode. I'm really glad we did that one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe doing some more of these newer movies that like all four of us haven't watched. If we do one on the movie of the week or even on the horror section, some newer stuff that we haven't done. I believe we did Host also, the Shudder original, which in my math is our shortest episode.
Oh yeah, well,
at 52 minutes.
I think our comments on that one were if the podcast is longer than the movie on that one, there's a problem. Because that movie's only about 58 minutes runtime.
Yeah, but over that, I've been totally happy with getting to spend this time with you guys every week or a couple times a week. Even though I did miss, I think I ended up missing 3 episodes of Scrooged, Home Alone, and Die Hard. I missed all the Christmas stuff.
Those were my favorite episodes.
Of course, because I wasn't on your ass.
Those were the easier episodes to edit. I'll tell you that.
Oh. Fuck you. But yeah, it's been a great year getting to do this show with all of you. I mean, I've known Josh and Jenny for years. Eric, I've met before I moved here and got to know over this past year tremendously. He's my football buddy on the show because the other two don't care for football. So, and Yingling. So that's awesome. But that's mine for the year. Well, Eric, you take it away.
Yeah, Eric, how about you? What was some of your favorite moments or surprises from doing the show?
Favorite moments. One that comes to mind pretty much anytime anyone rags on me cracks me up. I really liked the Life Force episode when Jason buried me under a sea of examples of better effects with a cheaper budget. Jenny's hit me with some rough comebacks over the past year. That's always fun.
I gotta say some of the arguments between Jenny and Eric are classic. I mean, I have such a blast when I'm editing those episodes, and I'll just laugh out loud when you two are going at each other.
I will say Nathan dropped a few lines that caught us off guard. I think just some blue humor that was pretty shocking at the time. I don't know how much of that actually made the cut for the show.
Some of it did, some of it didn't.
Yeah. I believe we got a new word added to our.
We're not gonna.
We're not gonna say it.
Oh, I liked
BP. That's all we're gonna say.
Oh well, I liked continuity.
Continuity is a good one
for the VHS Files glossary. That's a good one too.
Yep. Jenny, any favorite moments, surprises?
One of my favorites is arguing with Eric about specifically Tremors. Where you go back and listen if you haven't. And then our speculation on the never-ending story.
That was a good one.
Oh yes, that's a great one. Yeah,
I really enjoyed that thought experiment. And then whenever we've had guests on, like Mike was on Back to the Future, and then
Mikey
Nathan's
P.
been on a couple episodes, so that's always fun to get another voice in here.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to say, I just, from my perspective, coming into doing this for a year now, it's there's some of the times when we're watching movies or we're scheduling movies to do during the podcast, and some of us may not really be too thrilled about doing an episode on those particular movies. Case in point, I really wasn't too crazy about The Sandlot. I don't think Eric was. No. There's a couple others in there, but honestly, those are the episodes that end up being the best, in my opinion, whenever I'm editing them together. And just, we seem to have a lot of fun with the movies that we're not excited to talk about. And that has been the most surprising thing doing this for me, is I could just be completely out the window of not wanting to watch a movie, talk about a movie. But as soon as we watch it and get on here and record, I have such a great time.
Yeah, I agree.
So I almost am looking forward to movies that either I haven't seen or that are, not held in a very high regard, or maybe things that I'm not excited about. Like I'm starting to feel like as though maybe I'm going to get more excited now about movies that I have no passion to want to talk about. It's one of those reverse psychology sort of things,
I can't wait to watch something I don't want to watch.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Maximum Overdrive's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
I don't want to watch that. So I'm super excited.
So does anybody have any favorite episodes we've done over the past year?
You want to do favorite and least favorite at the same time?
Well, I've got favorite and least favorite here. So yeah, I'll go ahead and just say mine was, well, I've got a couple for favorite. I like Tremors because that kind of kicked off, the bickering between us in some situations, and we've seemed to have gotten more into that as we've gone along here. So I thought that was a good Genesis episode. I love the Rob Lobo-Cop that we talked about in the RoboCop episode. Yes. That's one of my favorite moments. And I thought our episode on John Carpenter's The Thing was really good also. And as far as my least favorite movie we've covered on the show so far, not that I don't like the movie, but watching Heathers kind of was a little different.
Wow.
Daggers.
Sorry, Jenny.
And that's, no offense to you for picking the movie or anything. It's just that movie just did not really hold up all that well for me. So, I mean, that's probably the one that I had the least amount of a good time watching. So
does anybody want to place money on what Jenny is going to say is the worst episode? Anybody got 5 on it? Throw $5 down. Let's take $5.
Well, again, not necessarily the worst episode, the worst movie we've covered.
Okay. Well, that's what I meant. Worst movie. I was going to think we could bet on Jenny's.
My favorite episode that we've done is Heathers. I really felt like that was one of the first times where it was a movie that I had watched over and over again that most of you had not.
Right.
And so it kind of felt like mine. Mm-hmm. And you're wrong because it's still quotable.
That's just my opinion.
This morning I asked Yoshi, what's your damage, Heather? Like, come on. My least favorite episode, Conan the Barbarian.
That was coming.
I wrote it down.
Oh man.
Right there.
If I never see this movie again, it
Oh my
God.
That's so awesome because I was like, Jenny's gonna hate Conan.
What about you guys? Some of your favorites we've watched, least favorites?
Go ahead, Eric. You go. I went first earlier. So
I like the Thing episode as well, Josh. I like the Die Hard episode. I like the Tremors episode. I really like the Life Force episode. I like that we were at each other's throats on that one.
Even if we didn't agree on the movie, that was a very fun episode for sure.
Yeah. Worst movie, easily One Crazy Summer.
I knew you were going to say that.
Stinker.
If you were forced to rewatch One Crazy Summer or Life Force?
Oh, Life Force all day. All day. Doesn't mean I love Life Force. I'm just saying,
You love it. Own it.
Jason, how about you, buddy?
Oh, let's see. Anybody care to guess which my favorite episode was?
You can't say Halloween.
Yes, it was. The Phantasm episode.
Yep.
The Terrifier. And I loved Point Break, because it started really the whole what if thing that we went into with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze's characters.
That was fun.
Going back and forth through all their, man, that was so fun. And I still even love the American Werewolf in London when we did the whole, that kind of started our recast thing.
Yeah. Which we haven't really been doing recast very, very often. I mean, it's something that I don't think would really work every episode, but it might be fun to go back to at some point. So
our least favorite, sorry, Jenny. No. There's two, but I'm going to say this one first, and I'm saying sorry, Jenny. Adventures in Babysitting. Sorry. I still have like nightmares of her singing of the Babysitter Blues on the stage thing. Yeah.
Taking care of these guys.
Like your opinion, man.
Yeah. But my number one least favorite.
Least favorite.
Roll, please, Josh. Life Force.
A shocking development, y'all.
Shocking.
Didn't see that coming.
Utterly shocking.
Why didn't you apologize to me like you apologized to Jenny? That's what I would like to know.
You get no apologies for that, because I am going to, when we get to episode 100 and we do this again next year, I will still say my least favorite episode.
Yeah, you're never going to hear anything other than Life Force from Jason now. That's just what you get when you have Jason.
How many episodes has it been since we did that? I think I've mentioned it in every episode some way, somehow. But yeah, I mean, those are my favorite. Of course, in the Friday the 13th things, and I think we totally Friday the 13th Eric out of watching any Friday the 13th movie ever again.
Jenny too.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, one of those Friday the 13th might be worse than One Crazy Summer. I'm not sure. They run together a little bit, but
that was a long time ago. That was like episode 4.
That was our one and only time of doing a 5 for 5, I do believe.
Yeah, we did. We decided that time that's probably not a very good idea, so we won't be doing those.
Yeah, that was like nearly 9.5 hours of movie watching to do that episode.
Yeah, I told Josh, I'm good for one movie a week. That's all I can commit to. And he's like, all right, we got 5 movies this week. What?
Well, then we did Halloween 1 and 2 together. So,
yeah.
But,
well, those are kind of a package deal. But so in the coming year, any movies you guys are looking forward to talking about? Anything in particular you guys would like to bring up in the next year and talk about? Something you're excited to talk about?
I'm excited to talk about any Cronenberg. I want to get some Cronenberg in here. Mm-hmm. And I think we might be doing Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead soon. I'd like to revisit that. It's been a while, so I'm kind of excited to go back and look at that. I've watched Evil Dead 2 countless times, but Evil Dead I've only seen really a couple times, and it's been a while, so I'm curious to go back on that one.
I think when we do Evil Dead, we should do both of them together, because it's the same damn movie.
You can watch both.
Yeah. That one may be coming up sooner than you might expect, to be honest. Ooh. Jason, how about you? You got anything you're looking forward to, or anything on your list that you want to talk about next year?
I want to do some more, because we haven't really done that on here. I mean, we did The Crow. I want to do some comic book movies. I mean, I know everybody else talks about them, but dude, I love comic book movies. I want to talk about maybe the first Raimi Spider-Man movies. Everybody's forgot about Tobey Maguire. Well, he might be showing up in the new Spider-Man movie, but I want to do some of those.
I mean, I've seen largely support for Tobey Maguire as like many people's favorite Spider-Man on Twitter recently. I was actually kind of surprised by how many people were really looking back at Tobey favorably. I would expect that to not be the case, but it seems like people really do like their Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Well, Peter Parker. And Josh and I have had many conversations about Spider-Man 3 and how we could have fixed that movie. Josh has a really good idea, and I would like to just get into that. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe somebody shares the idea. Of course, the newer Halloween movies coming out. I'd like to talk about those. And I want to talk about Pig, because I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah,
I have. Cage movie. I know you've watched it. Yep. I need to watch it. And I've heard good stuff about it. Maybe let's like getting him back to Eric, up there.
Eric passed on Pig to watch Reminiscence.
I didn't pass on it per se. I was sort of pressured.
Jenny, you got anything you're looking forward to, or anything to put on the list for this coming year?
Yeah. I want to do Princess Bride, Labyrinth.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
and Empire Records.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Empire Records.
Those are my 3 must-haves for the coming year.
Smell bad. I like The Labyrinth. We need to do that. My girlfriend loves that movie. So yeah,
Well,
I'm down for that one.
I'm definitely looking forward to any of the stuff that I haven't seen, namely stuff like Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
And movies that I completely missed when I was younger, and I'm anxious to talk about those. It seems, like, again, that's another thing when we haven't seen something or something that, you know, like with me, things that were in my wheelhouse when I was younger and I missed them for whatever reason. I think it's going to be fun to go back and talk about them now since I don't have a nostalgia for them. But
We're going to put Steel Magnolias on the list.
Steel Magnolias can go on there. I would love to talk about Fried Green Tomatoes as well. Just saw that for the first time recently, and goddamn, why the fuck didn't somebody tell me that movie was so goddamn good?
I don't know, bro. We all knew.
Yeah, we all knew. I've
We
seen it.
all
I
knew.
can't tell you how many times. It's not a bad movie. I prefer it over Steel Magnolias, but Steel Magnolias is a movie I've actually seen quite a few times because of my mom. But I like Fried Green Tomatoes, dude. It's really good. It's really good.
Well, here's to another year of us doing this. We're going to go ahead and jump into this week's episode. And tonight we're talking about 1987's The Running Man.
The movie of the week. In the year 2017, an innocent man accused of a crime has a choice. Hard time or prime time.
Sensational. Perfect contestant. I want him.
He must pay or play the running man.
On your mark.
I'll be back.
Go!
The highest rated TV show in history.
Guess they want us to stay.
It's a game between life and death. Give you a lift? Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Running Man.
We've never done 1987. Is this our first
I know.
1987
It's like,
movie?
you know, 1987 was a shit year for movies. So, I mean,
As Eric pointed out, that another 1987 movie, but Josh also pointed out you picked it.
I picked it and I didn't realize it was an accident.
That's the thing about 1987 movies is you don't really realize they were from that year until you start doing research on them. And you're like, oh shit, another one. I'm going to go ahead and throw my hat in the ring and say 1987, possibly the best year for movies.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah.
Certainly in the 80s, you might be able to say best 80s year for movies. That could definitely hold true, I think.
Maybe that's another episode. We pick the best year out of every decade.
It could happen. Anything's possible.
No one knows for sure.
Well, The Running Man was adapted from a Richard Bachman novel, which is actually Stephen King, for anybody who doesn't know. I don't know who wouldn't know that at this point. It was directed by Paul Michael Glaser. Does anybody recognize that name?
I remember him from the TV show that he was on, not as a director.
That's where I was going with this. Is not really known for his directing, more like his acting.
Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah,
That's what everybody knows him from, the Starsky and Hutch, man. Get to it.
Right.
I mean, yeah, we're waiting for you to say Starsky and Hutch, bud.
He was Starsky.
Yep. And then looks like in 1986 he had his directorial debut of Band on the Hand. Never heard of that one. Then he has The Running Man, The Cutting Edge.
Hey, I like that movie.
The Cutting Edge.
Yeah,
I like that movie, dude. That's the skating
Topic.
movie.
Never seen that one.
Dude, man, that's funny. That's a good movie.
We should put that on the old list. Eh?
There you go.
And probably his best movie to date, Kazam.
Is that the Sinbad movie?
That is the Shaquille O'Neal movie.
Shaquille O'Neal one? Yeah, because then there's some myth out there that there was already a Shazam movie. It's like a Hollywood myth out there, but there wasn't. But it was Kazam.
The Mandela effect.
Yeah, Mandela.
whatever.
Nelson Mandela effect.
Not Nelson Mandela.
No, not Nelson Mandela effect. Oh,
No.
Get it right, Eric.
I thought I was right. Thank you, Josh.
No, that's where it's
it
derived
is.
from. Yeah.
But yes, the original situation is. Yes.
Well, this was released on November 13th, 1987, budget of $27 million with a box office of 38.1
U.S.
So I don't really know if you would call it a super success. I mean, it did make its money back, but definitely not a blockbuster by any means. And was released amongst the likes of Teen Wolf 2, 3 Men and a Baby, The Hidden, Less Than Zero, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which we've done on our show, and Flowers in the Attic, amongst all the other 1987 movies we've already talked about on our show. So, it's time for Mr. Eric to take us back in time.
We're sending you back in time.
Whoa, this is heavy.
Well, Josh, this being the 10th back in time for 1987, I have nothing prepared.
I don't blame you, sir.
It's the 10th. Man, I'm digging. I'm getting information, and it's just not interesting. And it's hard to... next time I'll do better. But for now, I do have one... music's easy to pick. So I got us a track from 1987. Hit it, Josh.
Yeah. Hey, Paul. Damn it, Jenny. We should have went and saw Huey Lewis in the News.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, who made that decision, Josh?
I'm beating a dead horse with that one. But yes, Huey Lewis in the News. Great band, man. Out of the two shows that you asked me to go to, one being Huey Lewis in the News and the other being Bill Cosby, I picked Bill Cosby.
I don't know, dude. I think I would have picked Bill Cosby too, assuming this was Revelation.
This was like like a month before all the shit came out about Bill Cosby.
Close.
So
that's kind of interesting, even though it's weird, and bad, but it's kind of interesting as well. I mean, right. I would have. Well, I really regret not going to see Martin Short, who came by.
Oh yeah.
Here when he did. I mean, obviously, I can still see Martin Short in theory, but yeah, that was one that I wish I had gone to.
Yeah, I remember that you were listening. Josh, we were in the band. We were practicing downtown, and it was literally right there at the
across the street from where we practiced.
Yeah, we could everybody going on and everything like that. And he's like, I could have went to that. Now we're kicking ourselves in the ass because it would have been a fun show to go to.
Actually, speaking of Martin Short, my parents in the mid 70s passed up a comedy show by a guy that would put an arrow through his head, play the banjo. Yes.
No.
Yes. They passed a Steve Martin stand-up show in the 70s because they didn't know who he was, and they could have seen him, and it was like in town, and they missed it.
Have you heard about this new show on Hulu, The Only Murders in the Building, with Steve Martin and Martin Short?
Seen the first few episodes. Yeah.
Jenny's been trying to get me to watch it, and I've been passing it to watch other things that we've been watching, but it looks interesting for sure.
It's fun so far.
Cool.
Yeah. I love Martin Short. I mean, he's hilarious in it. So
I think what we've learned is you just need to listen to me for everything.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, occasionally.
Well, I got a couple little trivia questions here for everybody regarding 1987. Sigourney Weaver was nominated for an Academy Award in 1987, but lost to Marlee Matlin for her performance in Children of a Lesser God. What movie was Weaver nominated for?
87?
Yeah.
T-minus 30 seconds.
30 seconds. That's plenty of time to go to IMDb.
Was it that movie with Harrison Ford in it?
T-minus 20 seconds.
You guys are going to hate yourselves when I tell you the answer to this one.
Aliens?
Yeah, Aliens.
Oh, wow.
Aliens. I just didn't think that was an Oscar-worthy performance.
Exactly. That's kind of why I thought this was a cool question. Is you really don't think about the fact that she was nominated for a fucking Oscar for Aliens.
I mean, I think she's amazing in the Alien films, but.
Well, I think this is just my opinion, but I think the Oscar probably went to the wrong performance, considering who's heard of Children of a Lesser God.
Is that the deaf woman, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's deaf. You can't
you can't shit on a deaf actress winning the Oscar.
You can't do that.
Well,
You can't be insensitive.
It obviously wasn't a very memorable performance if I don't remember who she is or what the movie was.
Hey, Josh, clearly you're not thinking of our deaf listeners.
Oh, that was a bad joke. Bad joke.
You know, I think even deaf people might think that's funny. If they have a good sense of humor. It was a risky one.
Well, I'm sorry for offending anybody out there, but anybody part of the deaf community. But I think
I'm just saying, normal people have heard of Marlee Matlin.
Yes.
Well, I didn't say Marlee Matlin. I said Children of a Lesser God. I don't remember.
The movie.
I've never even heard of this movie.
Listen to this guy backpedal. Dang, he's backpedaling quick.
Well, a bonus question here. Who won the award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance in Hannah and Her Sisters? I'll give you a hint. We have talked about her on this show.
T-minus 30 seconds.
No Googling, you assholes.
Is it?
Who's ever heard
I
of
don't want to
Hannah
guess
and
because I don't know that.
Sisters?
T-minus 20 seconds.
Hannah and Her Sisters, directed by Annie Hall guy.
10.
Annie Hall guy. Woody Allen?
Woody
7,
Allen.
6, 5,
Daryl
4,
Hannah?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Diane Wiest.
I like her.
Well, that was a dud of an answer.
Yeah. That was like, whack, whack, whack.
Diane Wiest.
All right, well, let's get into The Running Man. I watched this movie a fuck ton when I was a kid because I loved Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously. What about everybody else here? Tell me about your first experience, what you thought about watching it this time. Let's start with Jenny.
I don't remember watching this as a child. My dad might have had it on.
Seems like a dad, one of your dad's kind of movies.
Loves Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think I've said that before. So probably the first time I ever sat down to watch it with any purpose was when we were together. So I've probably seen this movie 3 times at most.
Now, watching this movie from the perspective of being a huge Stephen King fan and this being based on his story, how do you think it translates? Have you read The Running Man?
I've read the Bachman books, so yes, it has been a long time since I have read them.
Because it's pretty notably different from the movie.
Yeah, it's yes, from what I remember, it's very different. It's not quite so humorous,
Right.
and so yeah, again, it's been so long since I've read it, and so little that I've seen it that I couldn't make an accurate comparison. But
I hope you can recall some things because I was curious about that. What differences were there?
I have some notes here about.
Okay.
I mean, it was long. It's like 20 plus years ago.
20 plus years.
Yeah,
How is that possible? You could read when you were 4.
I know.
You're reading
right?
Stephen King.
I'm about to say, you're not a day over 25.
So yeah, it's been a minute, but thank you for the support.
Well, Eric, this was your pick. So how about you? Did you see this when you were younger, or is this the first time watch for you?
Part of why this was my pick was because this was one that I only think I caught on TV edits from time to time and parts of it. I don't think I ever watched this start to finish.
Wow.
Which is, kind of what I'm looking for here when I'm picking movies. I want to watch stuff I haven't seen, or that these movies that you see parts of, but you never really feel like you have like a full grasp of the film. So that was what drew me to it. And so I'll call this my first watch, and it was fun.
Cool. Well, I'm anxious to hear what your thoughts are going into the discussion here, Jason.
I do have some thoughts.
Have a thought or one thought or two thoughts?
I'm working on it.
Okay. You did have time for those notes, right?
Ooh.
Oh.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Exactly.
What did you say?
Are you on the podcast? Okay.
I only listen when I'm talking.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, Josh. I've seen this movie so many times as a kid. I mean, I didn't see it in the theater because I think I was 10 when it came out, but definitely not in the theater. It was definitely a rental when it came out at the local video store. And then I can't count how many times I've seen it on TV.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is one that was on cable so much.
Right. And that's where my experience came from.
And again, it was like I've said, it was TBS and TNT. It was always on there.
Mm-hmm.
So much. Man, Ted Turner loved these old movies, dude. He replayed them like to the ground.
Well, I mean, it's a perfect candidate for that sort of thing, being as though that it's based on, you know, a game show on a cable or, you know, a network TV game show. But, you know, one thing I did want to bring up and see how you guys feel about it is that we've reached that point now where we've gotten to where these movies that were set in the future back when we were young kids. This was set in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we've surpassed it. How do you guys feel about these movies that have sort of like kind of put a magnifying glass on the future, and now we've passed the future and we're past where all these movies are at? How do you guys feel this one holds up in that regard?
I mean, you know, years aside, you know, getting the numbers wrong or whatever, I think this movie's a little prophetic. In a few ways.
Yeah.
You know, the largest one being reality television.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, and we'll get into it as we get in here, but there's quite a number of things that this movie predicts.
Yeah. Sure.
It's pretty interesting.
And it's actually set in 2019.
It starts in 2017 and then goes to 2 years later. So
yeah. So,
but it's for far as I can tell, they're in much better shape than we are.
I don't know about that, but it's still pretty bad. I don't know, like watch this time through. I got a lot of RoboCop vibes too.
You know, I have a note here that says this movie could be in the same universe as RoboCop.
Yes, this could be a different city than Detroit easily.
Well, if we're talking about other realities it could be in, it has kind of Carpenter Escape from New York vibe to it as well.
That's in my notes.
Yeah. I mean, especially when it kicks off and you start off with a synth score and some of the visuals and some of the vibes, it feels very Carpenter-ish to me.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I mean, this kicks off. I mean, we're in a bad state. It's 2017. You got Arnold who's manning this helicopter and is instructed by his commanding officer to gun down innocent civilians.
Because this is the more creative method they have for controlling the population.
Yeah. Yeah. My first inkling of, well, I won't say my first inkling, but as we were watching this movie, I really feel like this movie would be a great TV show. Like if you really kind of set it in it's got enough substance there to where you could get into not just the aspect of is it ICS is the name of the company? It's ICS, and then you've
OCP.
OCP. Even the commercials, the climbing for dollars and all of that stuff. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's where the RoboCop comparison definitely comes in here. But I think you've got enough substance there with just the company, and then you've got the runners, you've got the people who work for ICS, and how their lives can play into all of that stuff. But I was a little heartbroken because I think I had a full treatment ready. I was telling Jenny last night, I was like, you could do this and you could do this and blah, 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 blah. And it would be a great, you know, episodic sort of thing you could watch. But I found out that Edgar Wright is actually connected to a reboot of this.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He's going to direct.
Film?
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, really?
It's in development right now. So
that sounds cool.
That made me excited, to be honest. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I'll see if I can shoot Edgar an email and give him some of my ideas.
we better be careful about throwing ideas out because we might have an actual Running Man reality TV show on ABC. You know,
Right.
no, Fox. We'll say Fox. You know, Fox would have
Definitely Fox.
definitely Fox. It's like people actually. I mean, honestly, guys, like. I feel like we will get to that point. We will get to the point where people are risking their lives. I mean, we kind of already are. You have some kind of risky reality television stuff. I think you got to push the envelope. They're going to keep going more and more extreme until, you know, I do think at some point, given the current trajectory, that's a tough word right now, but I think it doesn't seem out of
No, it doesn't.
Like out of the realm of possibility that you could have an actual reality show where people are risking their lives and actually dying on television for money.
And it's funny because I posted that we were watching it on our social media like I normally do when we're watching movies. And our buddy Nathan, who we've mentioned already, came on and put a comment. Oh, I love a good documentary.
Yeah, and next week we're doing Idiocracy.
Yeah.
We're going to do a documentary films of today's world.
One thing I did notice in this opening scene with Arnold and the guys in the helicopter is there's some really bad rear projection going on inside the helicopter.
Dude, the whole shot of the helicopter, I have it written down here, is bad, dude.
You're trying to tell me that Arnold wasn't flying this helicopter?
I mean,
I believe that guy can do anything. I mean, he was the governor of California.
He can drive a tank. I know that.
He can drive a Hummer.
Hey,
for sure.
He's already got his stogies though.
Oh yeah.
He does.
But he's not missing his stogie time.
Nope.
Love the stogie. I love the stogie. That's the worst impression.
That was a pretty bad Schwarzenegger impression there.
Stogie.
Get down.
Stogie, light my stogie with a flamethrower. Jim Brown, light my stogie. All right, sorry.
And he doesn't even use the line that Arnold uses in the movie. So, I mean, that really, like, this movie is a vessel for Schwarzenegger one-liners.
Oh, I mean, so many one-liners in this movie. Mm-hmm. Even a Terminator reference. I didn't know that was in this.
Yeah.
I may have missed that. Which one are you talking about?
He says, "I'll be back."
He says, "I'll be back."
Yeah.
He says,
Josh, what the hell is wrong with you?
He says, "I'll be back" in all of his movies.
None. Yeah, but I mean, this is an old movie.
But that's like the Terminator thing.
That's the Terminator line. If I say there's a Terminator reference and you go, "I don't know what it is,"
No.
Are you really discounting "I'll be back"?
You guys obviously have not watched enough fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger movies because
I have watched plenty of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He says, "I'll be back" in every fucking movie he's in.
Why does he say it? What is it referencing?
It doesn't matter that it was in the Terminator first.
It's referencing. Yes, it does. Of course it does.
The line from Terminator.
Every time it is a Terminator reference. Every time he says, "I'll be back." What are we talking about right now?
Can I change my vote to this being my favorite episode? I'm just sitting here watching the three of you argue. It's so funny. You're like getting red in the face. It's awesome.
I look at I'll be back as his just Arnold Schwarzenegger's tagline. It doesn't matter that it started in Terminator for me. Like that is just
that's just absolute bollocks.
But if he would have never said it in Terminator, it would have not been nothing.
It'd be weird if he just said it in every movie, no matter what. It's obviously a Terminator reference.
Exactly. I'm with Eric. I'm with Eric on this.
Jenny, backhand this fool.
You guys can all go fuck yourselves.
What a weird hill to die on, Josh.
But when you're talking about all the quotes, when we get to that section, we're going to need a bigger quote.
Oh, yeah.
Bigger quote.
A bigger quote section. But, you know, he decided, he's like, I'm not going to gun down these people. And of course, they take him out and blame him for the crime. And, you know, this is another thing that got me thinking about how this could play into and be very meta for a TV show or a movie to kind of play with that aspect of things now about how we've gotten into all this quote unquote fake news and how things are fabricated for the media.
All of our media is manipulated.
Yeah, for sure.
All of it.
Like,
so
well, it always has been.
Yes,
correct.
But I think, yeah, you're right. I mean, this gets into that stuff, and that is something that is just as important nowadays as it's ever been. You know, media controlling the narrative, controlling, heavily involved in politics, controlling public opinion, that kind of stuff. Character assassination, as they do with Amber in this, and it's really interesting. I mean, similarly to some of the stuff with, like you say, in RoboCop, with the media and TV and that presented in that. I don't know, man. This movie is like really smart and really dumb at the same time.
You're very right. I mean, that is the most honest statement you could have made about this movie.
Yes,
it just got great ideas. But it, again, like just the fact that they decided to have number one Schwarzenegger in this. I mean, Schwarzenegger, honestly, I don't think is bad in this movie. I think the script he is given in this movie just makes it cheesy.
It's literally like, hey, we got this movie. We're going to do this thing, and we're going to write you at least 50 one-liners to lay through the whole thing. And everybody else, we're just going to give you a little remedial shit to read and then go from there.
And honestly, like, I think, and as much as this movie really is just a fucking hour and 45 minutes of one-liners, I think you could really, and that's probably what most people remember this movie for, I think you could cut a lot of the one-liners out of this and still have a very good movie. Yeah. But, like, we're going to talk about the one-liners when we get to our quote section. But yeah, I mean, like, and you can tell a lot of the stuff in this movie was ADR'd in, and like, it wasn't said on screen. It's stuff they added later. So I think you have a really good, smart, political movie here that is just kind of mucked up by the script. Eric, what you got?
Well, I mean, I don't want to overthink it, but I would argue that there could be a little meta wink going on where you're talking about how the media is trying to put on a show for you, and you have some satire going on, and you're kind of skewering that, but at the same time you're relishing in that. You're giving us one-liners, you're giving us gore, you're giving us action. It's kind of doing the thing that it's skewering at the same time. And similarly to what Verhoeven does with RoboCop, I mean, maybe I'm giving it too much credit. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, you make a good point, because I mean, you've got plenty of one-liners in RoboCop. RoboCop's spitting out one-liners left and right, but there's something that seems a little more, I don't know, official about RoboCop than something like Running Man here.
Well, I mean, I would say RoboCop is a better movie. And,
oh yeah,
and smarter and a little more focused on what it's doing.
But he's, Ben Richards is Schwarzenegger's name in this, and he is labeled the Butcher of Bakersfield, which he's called many times in the movie. And, we open up with him in prison, working in like a steel mill and whatnot.
18 months. He spent 18 months in the detention zone.
And I really like the score here when they're introducing everybody right here in this area. I think the score is pretty effective.
Dude, yeah, I was actually going to bring that up when they're doing the fight scene and everything. The music was done by Harold Faltermeyer. I'm probably butchering his name. I'm sorry. But that guy did stuff like for Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, he won a couple Grammys for his music. But what I thought, I mean, as soon as I heard it, is this band Laserhawk that we love, dude. It sounds like Laserhawk on the, I mean, like, if they remake this, like when Edgar Wright does it, he needs to have Laserhawk do the soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, you've got all these bands nowadays that are feeding off those old scores. Yeah, and I won't say Running Man is a solid score. I mean, there's some score in this movie that I think is a little weak, but in the dramatic areas of the movie, I think the score works pretty well.
Yeah. And the one thing I do want to do, Eric, do you smoke cigars?
I do not.
I want you to put a cigar in your mouth and turn that way, because when I first see Arnold walking, when he's got the beard, I was like, Eric.
The Arnold beard. Hey, dude, good to see Arnold in the beard.
How do we feel about Arnold in the beard in this one, Jenny?
Dude, he looks like the man.
It's kind of scruffy.
Well, he's in prison.
But you did make a comment.
He's in prison.
You did make a comment when they showed Arnold, when they put Arnold on screen at the beginning. What'd you say?
What did I say?
You're like, God damn, look at that bicep.
Dude, he is jacked in this one.
This is like fucking Commando, man, when he walks up with that tree.
That log.
Yeah.
That wasn't a log. That was a whole fucking tree.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. It was the log of the tree. I was like, geez. But yeah, when he walked up with the scruffy beard, because I think the only other time we really see that is at the end of Conan, where he's sitting on the throne and he's grew the whole
Yeah,
full
I
beard.
think later, doesn't he have a beard in like End of Days or something?
Kindergarten Cop, he's got a beard at the beginning of that.
Yeah,
that's
But that was a fake beard, wasn't it? Is this a fake beard? Is this a real beard?
No, this looks real, dude.
Looked real, right?
that one movie.
I did watch it in 4K. So
The zombie movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Maggie is the name of it.
Maggie.
Maggie.
He
Yeah,
has
he-
a beard in that movie.
Oh, I don't
That's
know
right.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he walks out, I was like, man, Eric's doing Schwarzenegger stuff here. I was like, dude,
If
is he
only.
supposed- I'm just
If only.
talking about for the neck up, dude.
Right.
Sorry, bro.
Yes. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah. Like I didn't know that. So, hey, I want to give, first of all, since our movie is called The Running Man, I want to give Schwarzenegger some credit because big dudes, bodybuilders, when they run, they look stupid almost always.
Oh.
That's like a rule. And this man actually has a pretty good stride, I got to say.
Hey, Eric.
Jason?
No, that part in the airport, that's not him running.
Yeah.
Oh, no?
No.
No.
Oh, shit.
Dude, because it's shot from the back, you can see the wheels different. And then when they do the front shot, look at him running. He's like, oh, God, I got
Oh, damn it. I was so happy for old Schwartzies.
Dude,
That's
now
what I
that
call
guy
him.
running is like smooth running.
Yeah,
And then when it shows
I was
Arnold
thinking
from
the
the
same
front, he's
Boy.
all like, oh my God, I'm having to run.
God damn it.
But there's the footage of Arnold running that Killian sees when he's like, I want him.
Yeah.
You know,
But
there's
that's just coming down a hill and he's not, but I'm talking about that
Well,
full-winded sprint at the airport.
Yeah, I'm
That's
more
not
thinking
him.
the airport run and I feel bamboozled now. And even in 4K, I was tricked.
Go
What a
go back
fool.
and watch it again, dude. You could tell the hair
Take
is
my
not even
movie
right.
card away from me. My movie card.
That's one of my things in the notes. I was like, you could totally tell that's not Arnold running.
Revoke my movie card, everyone.
But
My
we're-
Arnold card.
But one thing about this prison setting that they've got them in is they've got this, you know, perimeter where they've got these neck braces on that will explode if they leave the perimeter. Now, I have a question about the perimeter though, because they do deactivate it, they get away, but like, what's the range on this? Like, once they reactivate that perimeter, do the neck things go back? I'm like,
I would say no. Think of it like an invisible fence for your dog.
Yeah,
If your dog gets out of range of the
proximity-
fence,
Yeah.
they're fine. Just like they're fine on the inside of the fence. You got to just get past that fence area.
Yeah, you have to be in range for it to send a signal to set it off.
Josh. The fuck.
that's why I asked the question, fellas.
It's not like Amanda Waller on the Suicide Squad. She just pushes a button and your head explodes.
You know, they say there's no such thing as a stupid question, Josh, but I think you just prove that false.
Fair enough.
And fuck you, Eric. That's what he's really wanting to say. I'm just gonna say.
But once Ben escapes this place with his buddies, let's see what are their names here.
Weiss and
Laughlin. Yep. There's, you know, Eric and I just did a little show, which isn't out yet, but we talked about movies and exposition within movies nowadays and how exposition can be a killer of a movie, in my opinion, because if you start telling everybody a story about what's going on, it sort of overtakes a scene and then kills what you're watching. I think even though this movie is cheesy and maybe is not the most thought-provoking, I think they deal with exposition in this movie pretty well, because you know nothing about these guys that Arnold escaped prison with, but he gives just a little bit of information about them. One of them is a teacher who's teaching people how to be, how to get around all of this new technology and whatnot. And I think it's really easy to listen to exposition when they lay it out that way in movies, where it's just little things here and there, and you can kind of make your own opinion of where you can go with that from there. It's when you start getting crazy with your exposition that it really goes wrong for me. How did you guys feel about, he makes a couple little drop lines about Laughlin and Weiss. Did you guys pick up on those, or is that something you guys just kind of?
Well, I agree. I think it's handled pretty well, and he's kind of out of touch because he's been in the prison thing, and he's not super involved with the revolutionaries or the resistance or whatever. So they have to kind of explain things to him,
right?
Which explains it to us. So it's a nice vehicle for, his kind of reluctance to get involved, kind of gets us some information as people try to talk him into stuff.
And one
it's
thing,
cool to see. I hope I'm saying it right. Yaphet Kotto.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, we lost him recently, and he's a great presence in this movie.
Yeah, I like him a lot in this, actually.
Yeah. It shows how big he is too when he's standing next to Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
dude.
There's a couple of instances of that in this movie. We'll get to one later with Jesse Ventura, but you know, it seems like Ben has already kind of given up to disregarded the fact that he's ever going to be able to prove himself, because even when he's there getting the thing taken off of his neck, Mick is accusing him of, killing all those people and burning his songs and all of that stuff. And, he doesn't try to defend himself in that regard. He's just like, just give me a break and shut up. Like, just get me out of here and I'll go. Like, he's lost all hope of defending himself within this world. And I think that kind of tells a lot as well.
Yeah, it gives me a little bit of a Snake Plissken vibe again.
Yeah.
We're already in this sort of
Snake Plissken's way cooler.
Well, I mean, just the reluctant hero. You've got this post-apocalyptic LA going on, and he's kind of getting dragged into the politics of things,
right?
Unwillingly.
And he says that his brother's going to help him get out of the country or something. There's another little drop line there, but he goes to his brother's apartment and it's nothing like he would think his brother lives in. And we're introduced to Amber here. And, that also brings along introducing us to Damon Killian, who is our antagonist here. And from what I understand, what's his name? Richard
Dawson.
Very famous for hosting Family Feud.
Dude, I grew up watching this dude
every day, man.
I kind of can't believe how good he is in this. I'm just going to say right now, like, he is not really an actor. I mean, I don't know.
Well, no, he is. He's done a lot of TV, lots of TV before he even got on Family Feud.
Right? Well, not so much that I've seen anyway. Point being, I know him from being a game show host, and he was great. Again.
Well, if the shoe fits.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's reaching.
It's like, hey, we need somebody to be a game show host. Who you got? How about the guy for Family Feud? Okay, he can do it. That's
I
easy.
was doing a little bit of research on him, and apparently some people on set were like, or some people that he'd worked with on Family Feud had mentioned that his presence in The Running Man was not all that different from his presence on Family Feud.
Like his character, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's there was some people that were saying, it's not too far off from his real personality.
Well, it's funny. He's known for like kissing every female contestant.
Yeah.
And he of course does that in this movie too. Like he's giving kisses to the ladies and that kind of stuff.
And apparently one of his stipulations of taking the part was he could not do any cursing. He was not going to do any cursing on screen, which is a little weird if you ask me, but how do we like the dance choreography for The Running Man?
Dude, I thought we were watching Showgirls for a second.
Do you know who did the dance choreography for this?
Was that Paul Abdul?
Paul Abdul.
All right.
I mean, I only know one dance choreographer from the 80s. And that's Paul Abdul.
Paul Abdul, because she was a Laker girl too.
I assume she did all the choreography from the 80s for everything in the world.
Yeah.
That's funny. And yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's, it feels like a TV show,
especially from like the 80s. Cause
yeah.
I mean,
it reminds me of what's that shit with
Price is Right?
Howie Mandel, where they open the thing.
Oh yeah. Deal or No Deal. Yeah.
Thank you. That's the one. I can't remember things.
I mean, being the 80s, I'm thinking automatically Price is Right with the girls there.
Sure.
The game show girls there.
Vanna White from Wheel of Fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Solid gold dancers.
Yeah. We get past the whole TV show. The thing I always get to is we get to the apartment. And I don't know. I mean, is this a thing in the 80s? Do women work out in lingerie? That's what I want to ask. I'm like, come on. I know it's an 80s movie, but let's just make it blatantly an 80s movie. We're going to have a woman dressed in lingerie working out.
I'm honestly kind of surprised there was no nudity in this film.
Yeah.
For like an R-rated 80s action movie, like it just seemed like that's just something that you were supposed to have. But yeah, she's working out. She's on her Bowflex.
How do we feel about Amber here? Because I think Amber is the worst fucking part of this movie.
Oh, worst? Yeah, maybe the worst. But I don't think she's bad. I just she doesn't bring a whole lot.
What is it
I don't
with
have any specific feelings
She
about
doesn't,
her.
I mean,
in
it's
general.
a writing thing. She doesn't have much to do.
Right. I mean, I think you could have taken her out of the movie and it would have been not much different. Like you just give somebody else the job of, you know, of Richard's trying to use them to get out of the country. And then you've got something, I don't know, like just her character seems kind of pointless to me. I don't really care for the fact when she's on screen, I'm kind of annoyed by her. And maybe that is the point, and that's how she would really react in that situation. I just find her to be very grating, and I could do without her in this.
Yeah, her progression in this movie is from here to here within this little bit of time.
I said that to Jenny when we were watching it. I was like, she has been nothing but a crazy mess this entire time, not knowing what to do in any of this situation, and then they're going to hand her an Uzi?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is weird when they just arm her and send her into battle at the end. But I mean, I think we could have used even just a drop line of what is her motivation? Why, like, we don't really know why she makes the decisions she does. Like, why does she decide to help him? She does find out like that's not what happened, but yeah, I mean, don't know. There's like a brief line where he's picking through her stuff and she's got some cash and stuff, I guess, suggesting that she's not such a strict, you know, she'll break the rules occasionally of whatever the rules are.
But she's like, everybody breaks the rules, you know, with censored tapes and stuff like that. So
right, I don't know, there's just not a lot of motivation or character there. She's just kind of a person.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was a product of the time. It's just and it's not, you know, it's definitely not the fact that it's a female character or anything like that. Again, I don't want anybody to think I'm a sexist here, but it's just
thank God she's not deaf. Y'all should really hate her.
But I mean, you hit it on the nail on the head, Jason. She doesn't really have a lot to do here, and it's just annoying when she does do things. So it's tough to watch. Well, let's get into Almost Famous.
Almost Famous.
I know that, dude.
I don't know them. I know her. Haven't you ever heard of that guy? That guy who was in that movie that was out last year?
I'm sort of famous for being almost famous.
First one on my list was Yaphet Kotto that Eric already brought up. But it's not my only one on the list. Does anybody have anybody else they would like to bring up? Eric, go ahead.
Kurt Fuller.
That's what I have.
That was my number one. That dude's in a ton of shit.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's like, you could put him with some of the other people we've said you could name this segment after.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
for
a guy that is a character actor that shows up in just about everything you could think of.
And funny enough, this was his first film.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got another one, by the way, so come back to me.
No, yeah, he's the guy that was in. He played the same character in Wayne's World, the guy working at a TV station.
Roll camera.
But I'm gonna go with this because he pops up in everything, and he's been. God, I didn't even write down all of his movies, and I had 3 lines here. Sven. Old Thorsten, dude. He's in shit tons of movies, and that face is recognizable anywhere.
Well, I want to talk about Gladiator during this conversation, but we'll get to there after this segment. But
dude,
we're going to talk about Gladiator.
Conan, Red Sonja, Cole, Red Heat, Mallrats, Twins, Hard Target. I mean, it goes on. I just stopped writing.
And Gladiator.
When Jenny saw him on screen, what'd you say?
Is that LaForce?
That's LaForce.
Yep. Exactly. Our generation will always recognize him. Yeah. So that's who I put as my Almost Famous.
I think we all know Kurt Fuller from Wayne's World. I mean, that's
and a number of other things.
Yeah. I mean, let's see here. We've got he's been in a few things with Schwarzenegger. He was in Red Heat.
Ghostbusters 2.
No Holds Barred with Terry the Hulk Hogan
and Zeus. Yeah, Debo from Friday.
God, Stewart Saves His Family, The Fan. A ton of stuff that I'm not even naming.
A lot of TV.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still gonna go with Sven.
Midnight in Paris.
I think more people would recognize Kurt Fuller than they would Sven.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
Well, that's just their problem, and they're wrong.
I said Yaphet Kotto because I mean he's been in a handful of things that you probably recognize him from, but may not be a very popular name, namely Alien, Eric's favorite movie.
Sure.
I also wrote down Mick Fleetwood.
Yep.
From Fleetwood Mac.
And heavy makeup.
You also have Dweezil Zappa in here.
Yeah, Dweezil Zappa too. Yep. Mm-hmm. Now, there's one person in this film that I want to quiz Jason on here. Jason, this movie has a connection to one of your favorite film franchises, which your whole backdrop is decorated as right now.
Okay.
Halloween. Can you tell me what the connection to Halloween is here? I can tell by the look on your face you can't.
Oh, no, shit.
I'm not even thinking.
Jason, this one's going to sting.
Besides the fact, like I said, it to me, it looks like John Carpenter could have directed this and did a better movie.
He's reaching.
I can't think, dude. I got so much shit going on. What you got?
In the beginning, when Schwarzenegger is told to gun down the people and they tell the other officer to detain him, the guy sitting next to him in the pilot seat is an actor by the name of George P. Wilbur. Jason, do you know who that actor is?
Dude, no. If it's not Donald Pleasance and anybody killing somebody, I don't know.
He played Michael Myers in Halloween Part 4.
That's why.
You should have known this.
That's why.
Nope. If you love Michael Myers, you gotta love all of Michael Myers, even all the actors that played him. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's how this works.
Jason was a Halloween fan.
No.
Oh well.
That is the worst, dude. I hate Michael Myers. That movie. It's the Mime Myers, dude. Come on. You know I can't stand that movie.
All right, Eric, you have a tirade to go on with Gladiator. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, do your Gladiator roll down.
All right, fine. Well, it just feels like this is kind of the plot of Gladiator.
I can see that.
You have a guy that has been framed for a crime he didn't commit. He ends up in a gladiator ring. The crowd hates him. He begins to win over the crowd. And by the end, he takes over.
Mm-hmm.
The Gladiator stole their whole plot from The Running Man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's got Sven in it.
Yeah, and Sven's in it.
Sven's in it.
Too many connections. It's not a coincidence. Ridley Scott ripped off
Ridley
this movie.
Scott is a hack.
Wait. Did Christopher Nolan steal anything from this? Because Christopher Nolan steals something from all of our movies.
We're going to be the most hated podcast in the world because we just dump on filmmakers left and right.
Seriously, though, this is the plot of Gladiator. So, I mean, I'm sorry. It is. You have a series of, you have different rounds of gladiator fights, basically, where he gradually wins over the crowd and takes over at the end. I mean, it's Gladiator.
I mean, you could make the same argument for the Hunger Games.
Yep.
Same thing.
That's what I got.
But this came before
down.
the Gladiator. Hunger Games came after both. So
that's where I had wrote down for this movie. After watching it this time, I was like, dude, it's Escape from New York / LA, Hunger Games. It was like all these movies I keep seeing. I'm like, it is a mixture of all these movies or these movies. Well, let's see. Escape from New York came out before this.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know who had a better LA backdrop, Escape from LA or this movie, the city backdrop.
We don't see a whole lot of LA.
Dude, that painted backdrop is cool.
Yeah, we kind of get one view of LA, that one angle.
Yeah, where they focus in on the guys betting on the rounds and stuff. That's like all you see of LA through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Well, just that shot of the city, the city skyline or whatever, you kind of only get it from one angle. So yeah, otherwise you're just in like a dirt lot or a warehouse or something the majority of the time.
So we skip ahead we can get to him. He gets caught at the airport because Amber rats him out in the ugly Hawaiian t-shirt that he's wearing. And that's not him running. So sorry. He is a sucky runner as a bodybuilder.
My heart's broken from that shit.
But, and that's the thing when he gets in, they capture him. This is something I didn't understand because they were talking about like when they get into the zone, they can't be tracked, but when they're doing all the medical procedures, they say they're putting a tracker inside of him.
Well, what are they sticking in between his fingers?
Dude, that makes me cringe to this day.
Yeah.
that needle going. Oh,
they do a handful of things. They do an injection in his leg and his arm and his hand. I don't know what all that's supposed to be.
Dude, those blocks in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Holy
that scene was actually kind of gnarly. Like when he's strapped down and they're doing that stuff to him, it was kind of rough.
Yeah.
That was kind of the most horrific part of the film for me.
Yeah.
But it always creeps me out. It reminds me of like the Exorcist hospital scene or something. It's just like, I don't like medical procedures. I don't want to watch that shit. It creeps me out.
Well, how do we feel about Killian pulling the card on him with like, if you don't do this, I'm going to send your friends in. We find out that he's got Laughlin and Weiss and he's going to send them in place. But lo and behold, we get to game day and he's just throwing them in there with them. I mean, that's a fucking terrible turn of events there. But I guess we shouldn't have expected anything less from Killian from what we know about him at this point.
No, you can't trust him. Obviously, you have no leverage. You've already been captured. There's no leverage,
right,
to make some kind of a deal. You're going to go in one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, in the fact, like you said, he has basically the whole government at his disposal to find these guys, his buddies, because I remember he calls them. He's getting hold of the Justice Department gaming division, or TV division, whatever. I'm like, wow, this is.
It's weird.
2021.
It gets a little convoluted, actually. I feel like it's like, well, does he have power or not? Because sometimes he's like, if he gets out of this, we'll lose our chance, or like he has to ask permission in some cases. There's a little murkiness with how this works and what kind of power he actually has. It seems like he has to like request.
Yeah, because he's getting on the phone to call the government at the beginning of this to get Richards. And then once Richards starts winning the crowd over, he's getting calls from the attorney general.
Right.
So
like so he does answer to someone. Right. He's not like at the top.
No, but he's got power. He does have power.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's just he does. But it's funny, like you said, what we were talking about earlier about TV and government. I mean, he doesn't answer to a corporate TV guy. He answers to the government.
Right.
The government controls the TV. So that's how I mean, he doesn't even have a middleman. He's even he talks to the president at one time or something.
This sounds so much like Trump's America. It's not even funny.
It's really not funny.
No, it's not.
It's really.
Dude, did you always want to go on the bobsled ride?
Oh,
when they stick them in the tube.
I don't know,
wanted
man.
to go. I was like, dude, that looks so much fun.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we need an epilepsy warning on that one.
Yeah, that
shit was flashing.
With my motion sickness nowadays, like when I was a kid, yeah, that probably would have looked like a whole lot of fun. But now I'm just like, fuck that. I have a little issue with that once we get to the end of the movie, though. I'm always a little confused by they get in there and they've got this whole group of people that are like crowding them and moving them along, like herding them like cattle. But wouldn't the first, like, I would feel like they would be the first sort of thing that they would have to deal with. Like, why aren't they hurting them? Or is that just their purpose, is to herd them into the game zone?
Just to like get them in there.
Dude, these people reminded me like S&M gear people dressed up at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios,
right.
where they're poking you to get you to go through the haunted house or through the little alleyways so you can be scared. That's when I watched it. I was literally, because I've been to Halloween Horror Nights so many times when I lived down there, but I was just like, dude, this is exactly what this is like.
Well, it's very Mad Max. They've got lots of sports gear on. Yeah. The guards in the prison in the beginning have like batting helmets on. It's like standard issue.
Dude, they are wearing like the urinal pans on their face for face masks. Dude, they're like this big. They're like, we need a big face mask for, because it's 2019. They're probably going to be dealing with a pandemic. So we got to put these big, this is the N9500 face mask for anything. And it's just a bedpan.
Well, that's part of my pitch to Jenny with like the TV show that I was cooking up in my head while we were watching this was their first line of like having to deal with something within the game zone would be, it's whatever year it is, and we've dealt with a pandemic that has made people become blood hungry, not necessarily zombies or anything like that, but like they're infected in some way and they're very violent, and like that's the first thing they would have to go through.
They're iron deficient.
We get introduced to our first stalker here, Professor Sub-Zero.
Yeah, Sub-Zero.
And how do we feel about Sub-Zero?
Sub-Zero pre-Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Sub-Zero.
Yes.
That was the first thing I thought when Mortal Kombat became popular. I was like, the guy from Running Man?
Dude, that's
the
funny.
hockey guy?
I had the same thoughts when the game come out. I was like, because I mean, I've seen this movie so many times. I was like, they made the hockey guy into the video game? What the...
Could you imagine Mortal Kombat with that guy in it instead of the Sub-Zero we all know and love today?
Had just a big razor hockey stick. To me, he reminded me of the James Bond villain.
Yes,
With the hat.
Odd Job. You're talking
Odd
about.
Job. Yes, Odd Job.
Random Task.
But the actor that plays Sub-Zero has been in quite a few action movies as like a antagonist and whatnot.
Well, he was a professional wrestler too.
Yeah,
it's Professor Tatko.
Yeah, Professor. Like he has that on the front of his name as Professor or something or other.
But yeah, he's a professor of wrestling and hockey.
Toru
obviously.
Tanaka.
Yeah,
it's Toru Tanaka.
How do we feel about Mr. Sub-Zero's death?
I thought it was good. I thought the Sub-Zero section was kind of the weaker, maybe one of the weaker attacks. It's just weird. The hockey theme.
Slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The hockey theme. I did like the idea that they're all of a sudden on ice. Hard to run. Hard to get away. It puts you at a disadvantage.
I know we have a section for quotes, but we're going to start saying some of these as they come along because there's still going to be plenty for me to say in our quote section.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But, okay. I do not fucking understand Arnold's one-liner when he kills Sub-Zero. Does anybody know what the fuck Arnold's talking about?
What do you say?
Here's Sub-Zero. Now, Plane Zero. Like, that is fucking dumb.
Oh, yeah. That is the worst line of the film. I agree. Yeah. I mean, I think what he's saying is it was Sub-Zero, meaning it was below freezing. Sub-Zero? Huh?
I guess. I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
Zero, which is he's like what, like room temperature?
Nothing.
I don't know.
He's nothing.
He's nothing. He's a zero. He's it went from cool to it's not a good line.
But I do like the one right after that. What happened to Sub-Zero?
He was a real pain in the neck.
God damn.
What's the Simpsons character based on Schwarzenegger? What's his name?
I've never seen one episode of The Simpsons, so.
What the?
What?
I think I've said that before. Maybe it was on. Yeah. No, I think it was on. Maybe it was on Not a Bomb podcast. I said that I haven't.
Are you talking about the beer guy? No.
I'm talking about McBain.
Okay.
McBain. Anyway, he's the Arnold Schwarzenegger analog on The Simpsons, and you occasionally get McBain. And his lines, it's like it feels like it really came from this movie.
It probably did. So.
I mean, it's a mixture of a lot of things, but I mean, this movie I think has more Arnold one-liners than any movie I can think of.
Not just Arnold. I mean, you've got Jesse the fucking Body Ventura in here dropping some shit too. Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? Welcome to Captain Freedom's workout.
Dude, that hair piece he's wearing is horrible.
Bad.
It's hysterical. I love it. It's funny. I mean, he even gets some of his hair pulled out later.
Before we get to to Jason and I's favorite stalker, we've got Amber back in the picture here, who has started to discover that things have been fabricated. She hears a news report that says that Richards killed people at the airport, and she's like, that's not true. So she goes digging. And again, like Eric said earlier, give me some kind of reason for her motivation other than, she seems like so absent-minded about, she works within this company. So like, is it really the fact that she got kidnapped by Richards and now she's seeing all this corruption that drives her to go digging for all of this information? Like, it just seems so sudden.
Like she should be already like kind of wrestling with her position, working with the TV. Like we should get something of like, maybe she's got friends that are in the resistance that are trying to convince her, but she's just not there yet. Or, something to kind of, you know what I mean? Like something to make her like she's wrestling, she's on the edge, and then he pushes her over the edge.
One thing I think is interesting is, she sees him in the hallway as they're walking him to the show.
Yeah, super weirdly. Why would they be in the same hallway? It doesn't make any sense.
And she's there with her friend, notably paying $6 for a Coke. That's one thing I picked up on. And then the fucking lines that this girl drops to her, she's like, "You're lucky he didn't kill you. Kill you, then rape you. Or rape you, then kill you." It's like,
no, the other way around. It's rape you, then kill you. Or
whatever way it is, it's like, God, this woman's got a fucking sick, twisted mind. But I can only imagine that she's seeing what's going on, hearing this from her, but like, within all of this that happened, like Richards never tried to do any of that to her.
Right.
Is that really what sparked her curiosity as to is Ben Richards really that bad of a guy? I mean, at this point, she's already seen the news thing that says he killed people.
Yeah.
No, I think by this point she's already seen that the media's account of what happened is not accurate.
Yeah.
So she knows that he didn't kill. I mean, they accuse him of killing people on the scene at the airport, which she knows he didn't do.
Right.
Which means they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody killed him.
Yeah. That's the other thing that's crazy about this. And we'll get into that here shortly.
But either way, she gets put into the game.
Yeah. But I mean, they catch her going through all of this stuff and finding, going through all the footage and boom.
I thought it was interesting. She finds the digital video file. And I was curious when digital video really came about. And it was only 1986, a year prior when that was introduced commercially, digital video. So that was a very new technology back then.
Well, I think when you're making a movie based on the future, you're trying to use every bit of new technology you can fit in there.
Sure. And I'll just say it now, like they have voice control stuff, which obviously is not originated in this film, but Star Trek and things like that. But she walks into her apartment and turns things on with her voice.
Yep.
Just like Alexa or whatever. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then we get some deep fake technology at the end of this movie.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Yeah. And that is really like, wow. Like you guys just got like pretty much exactly deep fake technology going on in this 1987 movie, which is pretty cool.
Killian's secretary tells him that they found her snooping around in the digital archives. So he's like, okay, this took a good turn. We're going to throw her into the game. And then if she had if she was questioning anything at this point, when he puts her in that car and talks about her sexual background and all that, that's, okay, yeah, I work for some pretty fucked up people.
I like it. I like the comment.
He had 2 partners in a year.
She cheated on college exams. She had 2 to 3 sexual partners at one time.
No, it was in 1 year.
It was in 1 year.
It wasn't at the same time. It was literally just like she has a normal dating life.
She slept with 3 different guys in 1 year's time. Woo!
Let me clutch my pearls.
So bad.
Do we think she got to this part where Ben Richards and everybody's at really fast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
she got to skip the ice rink because the guy was killed. So she gets she gets to skip to level 2 and meet up with them.
Oh, that's what it is. The herder people just herded her to that part of the game.
All right, you go this way.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You go left. You don't go right. You go left.
If I could have handled her from the point she starts in the movie when she's introduced with Richards, it's here where I really start to dislike her a lot because she's just an absolute mess, going crazy and like talking so fast the entire time. The whole scene she's in with Weiss and he's trying to give her the uplink code and she's just, okay. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I guess in reality, that's probably how she would be reacting to this situation, but god damn, it grates on me in this movie.
Well, the big problem is, okay, if you're going to say she's not used to this type of scenario, she's not handling it very well, that's fine, but don't give her an Uzi at the end and have her raid the building with everybody else.
Right.
She even goes off on her own for some reason. They let her go. She's off on her own in the... the whole group leaves her alone in the hallway for no reason.
Right.
Like, why is she even there?
Yeah.
But she shows up in the game zone and, another thing I wanted to note is how they let the audience pick the stalkers that are going to be going after the people. Mm-hmm. And it's a fun little commentary that they have their favorite stalkers and they want to send, you can pick and choose. And that's a fun
and if
aspect
your stalker
of this.
does well, you earn presents and gifts
but
everybody gets the Running Man board game.
Yeah, the home edition.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I wanted that so bad. But we get Buzzsaw and Dynamo here. Okay.
You mean Light Bright?
I fucking love Buzzsaw.
He's pretty great.
Hey.
Light Bright.
No. I have his name. He is Light Bright Pavarotti.
That's good.
That's what he is.
This was such a weird pairing because they're 2 completely different stalkers. But Buzzsaw is crazy. Like I like when he's introduced in the beginning, like coming into the building and he fucking hits the guy. Buzzsaw touched me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that feels like that stuff feels weirdly like real too. Like people like fans just get like going nuts and the sort of
like at WrestleMania or something.
Right, exactly. They feel like wrestling fans. I mean, these guys obviously feel like professional wrestlers. In some cases they are. Yeah, Buzzsaw's the best. He's got the coolest, ability or whatever. When he's like pressing the motorcycle over his head.
Well, he's the coolest stalker in my opinion, but very unrealistic the way this shit works. Like, there's no way this dude's starting up a chainsaw on a fucking motorcycle.
All right, this is the thing. He's doing it on a motorcycle. He cuts through a board, clean cut.
Yeah.
With a chainsaw. I mean, where I live in Texas, we're a logging community. I have operated chainsaws. I wish chainsaws would cut through wood that fast. That's freaking awesome.
He cuts through metal. He cuts through metal with these things. This is a future chainsaw. This is not your standard issue chainsaw.
Yeah. But this is the one thing, and I noticed this about all the stalkers. They are OSHA PPE compliant.
Oh, they've all got gloves and
Buzzsaw. He's got earmuffs over his ears for the loud chainsaws. He's got safety glasses. Mr. What's his name? The fire guy. I just forgot his name. He's got safety glasses and a fireproof suit.
That's the FCC, man. You gotta have. They make them wear that shit.
But I was like,
Sub-Zero had a full face mask.
Yeah. Dude, I just noticed that. I was like, dude, they're all OSHA PPE compliant. Good job.
That'd be another great thing to throw into the TV show as sort of a little background thing. Is like, all of our stalkers are OSHA compliant.
Everything's safety. We kill with safety. That's it. But dude, I was just noticing. I don't think I'd ever noticed it before. I guess of having adult jobs as we grow up and having to wear this kind of stuff. I was just like, wow, he's wearing hearing protection, eye protection. For his chainsaws. He just don't want to get bone fragments in his eyes when he's sawing through somebody.
Yeah.
He's worried about his hearing with the loud chainsaw.
You don't want to catch a spark in the eye. Yeah.
It looks pretty fun when he's pulling Ben around on the back of that motorcycle, though. Like, that looks like Ben could have been having some fun there. Like,
okay.
Hey, I noticed that wasn't Schwarzenegger. Am I?
Yeah,
dude, get a little credit for that.
That was blatant.
That's something that's really fun to do in Schwarzenegger movies is actually watch for when there's stunts going on. Because in most Schwarzenegger movies, you can blatantly tell that it's not Schwarzenegger in those scenes. Like, there's a scene in Terminator 2 that is so fucking obvious.
The motorcycle, right?
Yeah, when he's coming down on the motorcycle.
When he's jumping and the guy's like this.
Absolutely not Schwarzenegger. What were you going to say, Jason?
But you were talking about getting pulled behind a motorcycle. Jason moment. I have done this not on purpose.
Oh my God.
It is not fun to get pulled behind any all-terrain vehicle of any sort. And unfortunately, mine was being pulled on a skateboard in which I fell off and I got drug on the concrete and the gravel.
Yikes.
Not fun.
Well, as far as our stalker scene goes here with Buzzsaw and Dynamo, I mean, unfortunately, we lose Laughlin and Wise here. Was I just not seeing it properly, or did Buzzsaw hit Laughlin in the arm and that killed him?
No, he's kind of, I think he's covering it with his arm. So
it went into his gut. Like, remember, it cut through wood easily. Imagine what it would do to skin and bone.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the reveal, I think, when
moved his arm back.
Arnie comes back and he moves his arm and you see it. So props to Yaphet Kotto. That dude can sell. I mean, he did not have a lot of screen time in this movie, and you still feel it when he, that death scene. It's just like, oh man, like I you know what I mean? Maybe it's just because
you know that these guys are here. They've been put in this position for no reason. Like you know that these guys are not bad people. They've just been portrayed as bad people in the media.
Well, arguably, he's a better person than Ben Richards because they are. He and what's the other dude?
Weiss
are like really trying to make a difference and help people.
Which is some good one-liners come from them trying to find the uplink satellite in the place, and Richards is just like, no, we got to get out of here. Like, there's some good one-liners in there that we're about to get to.
For as many like cheesy one-liners and stuff in this movie as there are, I think Arnold really does like have some good comedic beats, like some good comedic timing with some of his lines, like his sort of attitude towards just survival feeds some humor in the film.
Right.
All right, but this is the part I feel you're talking about Amber. Dynamo's character is pathetic. The whole idea, like you said, he looks like a human light bright. He's freaking Pavarotti opera singer over here like this. Right. And dude, and he's in that little bitty freaking car. Dude, he's oversized for the car, the little go-kart. And I love that when he's chasing Ben Richards up the thing, you can hear them playing Flight of the Valkyrie in the background.
Yeah. Well, apparently that guy was actually an opera singer and sang the lines when they introduced Dynamo and he's singing, he actually sang that.
He's Elmer Fudd, dude.
I don't understand his character. So he needs a rework. Like,
how could he be one of like the top, like even the people that he electrocutes? Like, well, I guess the one guy does die from being electrocuted, but I just like seeing the rotoscope lightning. I'm just happy to see some rotoscope lightning anytime I can get it. Let me have it. But yes, I agree. He's not much of a threat.
And I think the reason Weiss died when he got electrocuted because he was with the electrical panel working on the code. I think that helped.
That's what I was getting to is like the energy transference from that thing because he zaps Amber shortly after that and it just stuns her.
Yeah. Well, so he has a stunning because it's a different color when it came out.
Oh, okay.
But he shoots it at Ben Richards and it hits right to the ground and you see this electricity go up into his legs and he's still running.
Yeah. Well, he got like a little bit of the electricity. Yeah. He's Arnold, he can absorb some of that. Plus he's wearing like a Shocker uniform, from Marvel, Shocker, the Shocker. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's got like
the Shocker. I'm the Shocker.
He's got the quilted outfit. Dynamo's kind of rapey though. Like,
oh, for sure. Later.
No, he's rapey there because he's got her laying on top of that brick, that piece of slab of concrete. He's going to do it then.
Yep. Which makes him even more pathetic. He's just like this, just pathetic, like.
Yeah. And honestly, like when I was a kid and saw this and the whole thing goes down between Ben and Dynamo, when he goes up that hill chasing Ben Richards and then falls down, he shouldn't have survived that because his fucking head's sticking out of this car that just rolled over 13 times.
Yeah, you need a roll bar, bud.
Right. And then
his mohawk saved him.
But I was always, when I was a kid, I guess I really wasn't paying attention to the dialogue in that scene because it's blatantly obvious that he says, I wouldn't kill anybody, even scum like you, because you're unarmed.
Yeah, when he stabs him, I always thought he did stab him.
And when I was a kid, I thought he killed him. And then when he comes back later, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What happened? Like
another Gladiator thing. They do that in Gladiator. Everyone wants him to kill him and he doesn't finish the guy off. I mean, come on. These are Ridley Scott is a hack.
After this, everybody starts thinking, oh, well, Ben Richards is in the game. Let's start betting on him. And shit's starting to get serious, but I want to go ahead and get into it.
You're going to need a bigger quote.
Jason, you got any taglines for us?
There were 4, but they were literally 2 of them were a mix of the first 2. So I'm just going to go with these 2. The year is 2019. The finest men in America don't run for president. They run for their lives.
That's okay. It's not terrible.
I don't mind it.
Yeah. The Running Man, a game nobody survives, but Schwarzenegger has yet to play.
Stupid.
We're just leaning on our big name.
Yeah, and then literally the other 2 were like half of this one mixed with half of this one, and then the other one was the other half. It was like, really? There was really basically 2 taglines. So, yeah, the first one's good, but again, the long tagline.
Yeah. Love it.
Really, really long. So
I don't
know. I really don't care for either one, but the first, if I had to choose, is better than the second. So. And that's your taglines, folks.
There's already plenty that have happened. There are more that are going to happen, but we're just going to go ahead and start going from here. First one I'm going to throw out there is at the beginning during the prison break. He grabs the guy by the belt and he goes, give you a lift? Throws him over the side of the thing.
I'm going to go with Buzzsaw because we kind of skipped over his whole fight and death scene here, but I love the saw. The saw is part of me and I'm going to make it part of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jenny, you look like you got a few here, Jenny.
I got a bunch. Nothing with losing your head over.
Right. I've got that one written down too. Eric, what you got?
When he's got Amber hostage, he says, "Remember, I can break your neck like a chicken."
Like a chicken.
I can get 10 points just for his biceps alone.
Yeah, that's good. I like when she's talking about when they're on the way to the plane at the airport. She's like, "I'm telling you, I get sick, air sick, car sick. I'm gonna throw up all over you. Go ahead, it won't show on this shirt."
I love that
one. Jenny, what else you got?
He had to split.
What happened to Buzzsaw?
He had to split.
I do like when he says the "I'll be back" line. You've got Richard Dawson saying only in a rerun.
Yeah, that's good.
It's kind of a nice.
I like the old lady. That boy is one mean motherfucker.
Yep.
Biggest laugh of the movie.
Oh no, honey, Ben Richards is a runner. You gotta pick a stalker. I can pick whoever I choose. We're kind of at this point now, but Richards and Amber are running away, and she's like, "We should have taken a trip to Hawaii." And he goes, "I had the shirt for it, but you fucked it up."
Those are like the funny moments I'm talking about. Like he kind of delivers them nicely.
The in-camera one-liners where he is looking at the camera and giving a one-liner for a kill or whatever, those are good. The shitty ones are the ones that you can blatantly tell they ADR'd in. Like the thing with Buzzsaw, when she says, "What happened to Buzzsaw?" He had to split. They ADR'd that. You don't see Arnold say that. You can obviously tell it was ADR'd in.
Yeah. Hey, what's the matter? Steroids make you deaf?
Yep, I had that one.
Hey, Lighthead. Hey, Christmas tree.
When he calls Fireball, he says, "What a hothead." Oh boy. Woof.
Or when he lights him up, how about a light?
Oh, there's nothing funny about a dickless moron with a battery up his ass.
And you've got Killian and Arnold throw this one out there, but hello, cutie pie. One of us is in big trouble.
I have another one here. When she has the video footage of the that exonerates him. He says, "Where did you hide that?" And she says, "It's none of your business."
Yeah, can we?
My question is, where did she hide that?
Can we speculate? I mean,
can we speculate that she hid that in
a you don't really
questionable
have to.
area?
Yeah, we know where it was.
I think we know where it was.
Okay. Uplinks underground. Shove the uplink up your ass, and then you'll be underground.
These are the ones I was about to get to. They're talking about getting to the satellite, and they've got to jam the signal. He's like, "Jam it up your ass."
I say, all I see is a bunch of low foreheads who think they can change the world with dreams and talk.
Yeah,
that was.
I like when they break into the TV control room and they say, "Don't touch that dial."
Yeah, that's a Dweezil Zappa line right there.
Zappa,
yeah. There's the quote in this movie I think that we should probably play the clip of.
You cold-blooded bastard. I'll tell you what I think of it. I live to see you eat that contract. But I hope you leave enough room for my fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach and break your goddamn spine. Ah!
Another good line is when they're doing the uplink code at the end, and he goes, "Mr. Spock, you have the con." And the guy goes, "Who's Mr. Spock?"
That is fun. That is fun.
Come on, man. We still knew who Leonard Nimoy was in 2019.
Here we are with Fireball. They've sent Fireball into the mix. Old
Jim
Fireball.
Brown.
Jim Brown.
Dude.
I mean,
one of the greatest running backs in NFL history.
That being said, Fireball's kind of a dud.
Yes.
And his hair is fucking terrible.
You mean awesome, I think, but
terrible.
His hair's the best thing about him. He doesn't have much to do here. We don't really see. I do kind of like how the flames are pink.
I think that's just because they're so hot coming out of that gun. But yeah, I think that's cool.
That feels like an effect, right? Like
it's probably something they put in the
or an intentional, something, an additive in the fuel to make it pink. It's just weird that it's a pink flame.
I know different fuels will burn different colors, and you can add things to them and change it.
One thing I really like about this scene when they're going through this area, and it's like an old locker room or something like that, and you've got Amber and Ben have been split up, and Fireball's going after Amber, and she finds these bodies within this locker room or whatever, and she finds out that it's actually the quote unquote winners of the last Running Man. Mm-hmm. And I think that is
an interesting reveal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like when she sees, Fireball approaches her and she's like, last season's winners, and he's last season's losers. I mean, I think that's a really cool aspect of this. Again, that they've fabricated all of this. It's all for entertainment purpose. And we've got to let you know that somebody has won this at some point. Nope. This is all fabricated for your viewing pleasure.
Right. You wouldn't watch as much if you thought there was no chance of anyone ever winning. Right.
Even though people are so excited about the stalkers taking these people out, like that's one thing that's kind of a little off kilter here is they're so unhappy when these stalkers get taken out. Maybe it's that no stalkers have ever been taken out before. People, they're just been told that they have evaded the stalkers to the end of, I don't even really know what the end game of this game is.
You got to go through all 4 quadrants.
Okay.
It does. Yeah, that is a good point, Josh. For a show called The Running Man, our guys never actually just escape anyone. They always kill them.
Right.
Yeah, because remember, if you win, you get a jury of your peers,
reduced sentence, all of that stuff,
or a pardon, which is lie, you're gonna die.
Right.
lie, you're gonna die.
And again, it's just like the gladiators, right? The big strong gladiators that always win are the celebrities, and you gotta throw a bunch of prisoners at them to give them someone to kill.
Gotta have ratings.
Do you guys think Fireball's response to Richard's ripping out the gas line is pretty hilarious?
When he panics?
Yeah. My gas line!
It was almost like Jim Brown thought he was about to blow up.
Right?
In real life.
Oh, shit. He's like talking to the director. He's like, my gas line! Like, Jim, it's not real, buddy. There's no gas in there. You're
just
good.
Water, man. You're okay. You're still going to live to play football.
Don't panic.
All right, but I do want to, before we get to that part, dude, let's talk about the chase scene between Amber and Ben Richards with Fireball chasing them. That goes on forever of run.
They kind of try to play that up as almost like a horror movie-esque, which again, I don't really think they play with that aspect of this enough either. I thought that would be another cool thing is you could really make some horrific scenes with these stalkers and the quadrants that they're going through.
Sure, like a slasher kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't get that. It's mostly just like an action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't get you get a little bit of that here where he kind of will surprise you. You don't know where he went. You're in a dark alley, but it's not done very well.
It kind of makes me all that much more excited at the fact that Edgar Wright has taken this on, and I'm anxious to see what he could do with it.
Yeah, I mean, this is, we talk about remakes that shouldn't be made. This is
prime candidate.
This one should be made.
This is something that has lots of great opportunities that were missed in the first go round, and you can really do something with it.
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned it on the show before. Like, you don't, leave Back to the Future and Jaws and all of those classic movies alone. Let's go back to the ones that had a great premise with a bad script. And let's improve there.
Poor execution or, whatever it was.
Yeah. This is A1 number 1 prime candidate for that, for sure. And I mean, with the fact that we've talked about Edgar Wright, and he loves horror, he loves social commentary. We talked about him a bit with American Werewolf in London. Mm-hmm. Like, I think he's a great candidate for this, and I'm excited now that I've found out that he's helming this. Who knows what could happen in the coming years, because we've seen so many directors get attached to a project and then leave it because of studio interference or whatever. I really hope he gets to hang on to this, and I'm really anxious to see what he does with it.
Yeah, and then when he's done, he can do the other Stephen King novel, Maximum Overdrive remake.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We need to watch that movie soon because we just got to get it out
of Jason's system. Spoiler warning, that's next week's episode.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. That's the next movie of the week we'll be doing, actually, is Maximum
we don't
Overdrive.
promise next week's episodes. We just tell you it's coming up soon. You never know.
But this is the point where Amber and Ben, they're running through this last quadrant. And I also really like the idea, you know, they drop lines about this when they're running through here, but you know, all of the satellites are pointed to within the gaming area. And that's why no one can ever, you know, take control of this signal or shut it down or do any sort of propaganda, is nobody's ever known where they broadcast from, like where all these signals are coming from. Mm-hmm. But it also is a weird, again, off kilter thing here, because they're in the game area when Mick finds them.
That's a question I had.
So if they were already in the game area, they knew where I guess they needed the uplink code. That's what they really needed. Yeah. But they knew where it was. I just find it kind of weird that they were there the whole time and weren't able to do anything.
I think it's just their hiding spot, you know, kind of you're hiding in an area where people wouldn't look for you in the game zone.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that idea. I love the idea of a corporation has this thing that can't be interrupted because they're doing it from within where you can't get to it.
And then Mick, did he have old makeup on?
Yes,
right.
For sure.
So it's bad.
Why did they age him? Like, I just don't understand. Maybe it's just from the book.
Well, in 87, Mick Fleetwood didn't look as old as he looks to us.
Why does he need to be old? I don't
I have no idea.
I mean, I don't care if he's old or not. Well, the leader of the resistance.
There's an interesting little bit of information that people have on the internet that he's actually supposed to be playing Mick Fleetwood in this movie.
That's interesting.
He is actually Mick Fleetwood because of the drop.
Mick Fleetwood in 2017 or 2019.
Yeah. Because he makes reference at the beginning about you locked up all of my friends, you burned my songs. So people are riding on the coattails of that, thinking that shit, that's actually Mick Fleetwood.
Dun dun dun.
That's kind of that. It's kind of cool. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, and he took in Dweezil Zappa because his dad's dead. Wow, I like it. I like it. Good one.
See,
Josh.
this is all like great things that would be like fun commentary and things to interject into like a long running TV show.
Hey, could we get Mick Fleetwood back for the remake?
Yeah.
And just say he just doesn't need the aging makeup now.
Right.
He's just old.
No. Hey, no. In this one, they'll have, when Edgar Wright does it in his thing, it'll be Paul McCartney is the leader of the resistance.
Oh, there you go. Man. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Peace and love, man.
It would be cool though to bring in like another musician as the leader of the resistance.
I kind of like Eric's idea. He could play the same character and have the same scenes and the same dialogue, and it would not change anything.
And Stevie would be Dave Grohl. I like it. I'm going with it.
We talked about how they get into some deep fake here, and I think this is another great thing that's a great problem that's interjected here, is the fact that now they've lost Ben and Amber. They don't know what they're doing. Captain Freedom has had a moment of ego awakening and is like, fuck this. I'm not doing this. They manufacture a death scene.
Yeah.
And this is something I also...
they stage one.
Right. And
you might say.
Something I didn't pick up on in my previous watches of this is the guy that they kill in that, you know, this is all deep fake stuff as we know it now. Mm-hmm. Like, that's an actual person they killed.
Yeah.
They even say you didn't have to actually kill him.
Yeah, that is fucking crazy, dude.
It's like in Marvel movies, they put everybody in a green suit. He was basically a guy wearing the green suit, but they killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was what's Sean Gunn's brother's name?
Sean Gunn. You're thinking of James.
Oh, Sean Gunn. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was Sean Gunn.
Yeah.
He was Sean Gunn.
He was Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
But I do like that scene where they're fighting in the cage and he throws that dude through those spikes. That shit's awesome.
Yeah, that's actually one of the better action scenes where they throw him into the razor wire and they kind of go back and forth. It's pretty enjoyable.
And I love the fact that Ben and Amber are watching this. They're watching them manufacture their deaths on television.
Oh,
and
we just died.
Yeah. And Amber makes a good point. She's like, hey, we're dead. We can go anywhere, do anything. You know,
she's kind of got Ben's perspective from earlier. Like,
and now he's completely flipped. I mean, he's got a good point though. Like, they're never going to let him leave there. Like they're going to hunt them down. They're going to make sure that they're,
they're even more. Yeah. They're even more of a target now.
Yeah.
Because they have to make it real.
Their very existence would be proof that the thing is fake.
Right.
Arguably, they don't even have to go there.
Well, I
and,
think,
and play that. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, they don't even have to go there and play that video. All they have to do is play a video of themselves in the base where they're hidden and safe and go, yeah, we're here. They've already hacked into the thing. They can play whatever they want, right?
Right.
They don't even have to go there. They could just stand in the base and go, we're here. We're still alive. They're liars. This is proof. I'm right here. Boom.
Eric, that wouldn't make a very good final act, man.
My point is it's a plot hole.
A plot hole?
It's a plot hole and you're an asshole.
There you go. Always an asshole. You're an asshole. No, we did that last week. So.
But yeah, I mean, here's where I was like, they're just going to give her a gun. Like, I just felt so out of left field that they're going to make her part of this whole resistance now. I mean,
it makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all for strong female action presence and whatnot, but what we've seen of her throughout this movie doesn't lead me to believe that she's capable of handling herself in this situation.
Arnold even says, like, you need a leader. You've got a band of nobodies.
Kids.
And that's fine. Like, sending her on the mission. Okay, maybe you need the manpower, and sometimes you're desperate. But once they get there, they all split up and leave her alone, which that's the weirdest part.
And lo and behold, she's facing the same one that tried to rape her earlier. Yep. Trying to do it again.
And he's in his tighty whities.
I about to say a scene we did not need in this movie is the close up of Dynamo's ass and the whitey tighties. I could have done with that. It would have been better if they put like a nice, some skid marks in it. Would have been even probably better.
Oh, yeah.
So.
What's the matter, bitch? Why aren't you laughing? This guy is Dynamo is absolutely the worst. I'm just gonna. He's. Bleh.
I mean, at least. Well, yeah. I don't know. Fireball is so disappointing. Like they build him up. He's like kind of the last big bad you got to deal with.
But the thing is
Jim Brown, which makes him like even more badass. And he comes out, it's like, you're doing nothing. You're just walking around with a flamethrower, and then you just like get blown up immediately. I don't know.
But what's cool is he's shooting flamethrowers and stuff. That he's not shooting fucking, look, static electricity. I look like a Christmas tree. I can sing fucking opera at 3 octaves. Whoa.
Did you guys ever watch The Tick?
A little bit.
I did.
You guys familiar with The Tick? Do you remember the guy that wore the full carpet outfit, and he would just shuffle his feet and he would shoot static electricity?
God, I gotta go back and watch some of the Tick. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Not to the face.
Yeah, I mean, his outfit also is not practical in the fact that just throw some water on him and you're gonna take him out. Like all she does is set off the sprinkler system. Yeah. He fries his ass.
Death by sprinklers, dude. Bam.
But yeah, I mean, surprise, surprise, Ben's alive. They show up in the studio and start taking motherfuckers out. Kind of a disregard for public safety there. I mean, they have a lot of, I don't know how innocent they are if they're egging on this game where they're killing people, but opening up fire in this place with all these innocent people seems a little problematic to me.
Arnold says, get the people out, get the people out.
He does do that.
He's a man of the people. He's trying to protect people.
He was a cop at one time, so he wants to protect the people.
But we get our final showdown here with Arnold and Killian, which I mean, I don't really know what we could have expected from it. I guess it's okay. I mean, you're not going to get that final battle like Commando or Predator with your big bad at the end. But
you know what I would have preferred?
What?
I mean, I like that they shoot him through the tunnel, whatever. But I think it would be nice if they shoot him through the tunnel and then he has to run for his life from just people in the streets or whatever, like people who have decided to turn on him. He has to run. You know what I mean?
That's a much better outcome than what we get, which
very anticlimactic. I mean, they could have done some CGI of Richard Dawson, doing some spin kicks, back kicks, something like that. I don't know.
Just a full-on fist fight with Arnold and Richard Dawson.
That would have been awesome, dude. Family Feud getting his ass beat by Arnold. That would have been so.
And it's kind of a wet noodle. They sort of play up the Sven, the security guard guy who's with Killian this entire time. They kind of play it up like there's going to be this big battle between him and Arnold at the end. And nope, he's like, I guess I got to go get some more steroids.
It's funny that he's just named Sven.
Yeah.
Like it's just his name. He's Sven. That's his name in the film. He plays himself.
Yeah.
He's good buddies with Arnold. Yeah, that's why I think he's in all of his movies.
Yeah, I think they were lifting buddies.
Lifting buddies.
But I do like the one little one-liner right there when Killing tells him to drop dead, and he says, "I don't do requests."
Yep.
He says, "Well, that hit the spot."
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I think does not need to be here in this movie is this last shot of him and Amber. Completely unnecessary.
They're brought together by trauma.
I actually liked it visually, though. I liked the colors and of the set.
Oh, I'm not knocking the cinematography or the shot or any of that stuff. I just feel like a romance between he and Amber is nothing that I cared about.
No, it's just
thrown
in
there.
I think the best part of the ending is no pain, no gain.
Fuck you. What is it with fucking 80s movies? They got to end on that fucking crazy ballad song. Like, ugh, I fucking hate that shit, man.
You love it.
Hate it. Well, let's get into them.
Top kills.
Top kills. That sounds good. Let's do that.
Are we all going to have, or at least half of us have the same kill?
I think me and you definitely have the same kill. I don't know about everybody else, but you want to go ahead and do ours?
Sure. Should we do it together?
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Buzzsaw. He had to split.
And then I love it when he's going through him. He hits like the extra couple octaves. He was going for Dynamo, dude. Maybe Dynamo taught him how to hit that extra. But yeah, when he goes through him, that's and it even shows his belt where it cut him that far.
Yeah, cut all the way through his belt.
Through into his belt.
For the longest time, dude, watching this movie when I was younger, when they cut to that shot, I had no idea what that was. I didn't put 2 and 2 together that it went all the way up through his belt. I thought there was some kind of I thought Richards had wrapped his legs up in some kind of I don't know, some of the shots they go to in this movie are very weird. There's that. There's another one I can't think of right off the top of my head, but there's with Dynamo, we talked about, I thought Dynamo was dead. Mm-hmm. If I would have paid closer attention to that, I would have known he wasn't too, but because he opens his eyes. But there are a few weird shots where I have trouble putting together what they're showing me in this movie. So that was one of them.
Or what's even better is if you pay attention to the commercials, it's the movie you're watching.
Right.
The shots and the commercials on the TV screens are just the movie you're watching. I was like, that's crazy. So yeah, Buzzsaw, my top kill. That was great.
All right, Eric, how about you?
I'm gonna go with the guy who runs out before the invisible fence is turned off and his head explodes.
Oh, that's
nice.
Good. That's good. Go. I forgot about that one actually.
Exploding
it's a
like
pretty
a
good
melon.
exploding head. You gotta hand it to him. It looked pretty good
because it's a full body shot of a head exploding. I'm actually kind of curious as to how they did that, to be honest with you.
Probably had the guy inside of it, shorter guy, and then
they probably blew the guy's head up.
You don't know what links they'll go to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jenny, top kill?
I'll say Sub-Zero. I mean, a good decapitation, Can't.
Razor wire around the neck. Pretty gnar. Yeah. Pretty gnar.
Yep. All right.
Well, at least they were all good kills. I think Eric's the only one who went with not a stalker.
Yeah.
Well, let's do good, the bad, and the ugly now.
Let's do it.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Why?
The good here is the social commentary / the idea behind this. I think is a very, very good idea. And was it executed great here? No, but I still have a lot of fun watching this. It has its flaws. We've talked about it already. This is a prime candidate for a remake. Looks like we're going to get that from Edgar Wright, so I'm very excited for that. That's the good thing here. Bad, Amber, I think she's not necessary in this movie. You could take her out of it and it wouldn't change a whole lot. And the ugly is Jim Brown's hair.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna call Jim Brown. I'm gonna stomp a mud hole in your ass.
It looks
I'm
like
gonna call Jim Brown.
His hair looks like a fucking skunk tail.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true, but
it matches his outfit, dude.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Jason, go ahead.
Okay. My good. It's just a fun 80s movie. I mean, I do like some of the kills in the movie. I mean, I love Buzzsaw. Buzzsaw's my favorite. We didn't talk a lot about him, but I do love his interaction with Arnold when they're fighting, stuff that very Texas Chainsaw Massacre feel to it. So obviously I'm going to love that part. This, like you said, the same thing, social commentary, real life happening here, especially in today's world, because this is set basically today, only a couple years ago. But my bad is, damn, Josh, I think we're going to have a lot of the same shit. Amber, totally useless. I hope her character is useless in this movie. It's annoying. I hope Edgar Wright does something better and gives her a better story in his movie if they use that character. And the ugly is freaking Dynamo. Dude, horrible costume. Whoever did costume design, I hope they never got another job in Hollywood. Totally terrible, light bright Christmas tree shit. And we did not need the ass shot.
I'm just realizing that I have ranked Jim Brown's hair worse than Dynamo's outfit, so maybe I need to rethink my decision.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Jim Brown's hair, dude. There was way worse than Jim Brown's hair. So
Dynamo's underwear.
Yeah.
All right,
Dynamo's
Eric.
ass.
What's yours?
Dynamo's saggy underwear. My good, I'm going to say the reversing jets on the sled. Rather than just catching the sled or having it slowly come to a stop, it has a reversing jet on it, which is
there
fun.
You go.
Also good, the Adidas uniform. For the running,
I noticed that too.
For the running men. Bad, it feels a bit cheap with the sets. It would have been nice to be on location every now and then. You get a little bit with the Prison Break, but other than that, it's a lot of just sets.
Especially that rear projection in the helicopter at the beginning. Oh, God, it's bad.
That city backdrop, horrible.
And ugly, other than Dynamo's saggy underwear, I'll say Jesse Ventura's battle outfit that they made for him, which is intentionally bad, but it is hilarious. Like, that's a funny moment where
what
he's
do
like,
they think
what the hell is this?
What do we think they were trying to accomplish with that? Like,
I don't know.
There's the one shot where he sticks his hand up and there's something covering his hand. Like, I have no idea what they were going for there. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's just the idea is it's some overly designed thing, kind of like Dynamo's suit that makes no sense.
Dude.
And he's just like, this is stupid.
Yeah, actually, Jesse's Ventura's even regular outfit with the blue shirt with the big red gauntlet gloves and everything. That was horrible. And we forgot to mention the one thing during the workout video when he walks by and he goes, "Huh," he goes, "Ah," and walks off.
I like the workout video commercial. That's good stuff.
That was okay.
How do we feel about the fact that Captain Freedom's character gets out of this, well, presumably scot-free?
Yeah, that is interesting. You think we would have a confrontation, but
yeah,
he goes on to be governor of Minnesota.
Yep.
What if?
All right, Jenny. Last but not least,
the good is all the one-liners.
Yeah.
This is the only reason to watch this movie.
I think some of them are pretty shitty, but it's definitely fun to watch.
It's fun to laugh at. Yeah. The bad is Dynamo. He's just the worst.
Mm-hmm.
The ugly is pretty much the entire premise for this movie because it's so on the nose, bleak, but very plausible for the times that we are in now, especially the government overreach and control. And I'm going to use this opportunity, since we're on that topic, to say that women of Texas, I stand with you.
I think we all stand with you.
What your governor has taken away from you is your right. No one can tell you what to do with your body. And the people who are making these laws are the same assholes that won't get the vaccine to save the rest of the country from disease and death. So I'm sorry, you are not. You're not pro-life. You're pro-birth. And
yeah, because once they're alive, they don't give a fuck about you.
Yep, you don't want to give them medical care. You don't want to give them college. You don't want to care for them in any way. This is another systematic tool of oppression to keep poor people poor.
I agree.
And to take control over women. And I'm disgusted and I'm saddened for you. And the fight's not over.
Yep.
And being a citizen of the state of Texas, totally agree with you 100%. Women have the right to their bodies all the time. There should not even be a topic of discussion. A woman's body is her body, her decision. And
Florida's next, dude.
Yeah.
And Florida's next.
And that's, again, the politics running everything. It is more about what I can do to make my office better, to make it. Our governor here wants to just go to the next level. He doesn't care about the people. He cares about his political thing, and that's it. And the same thing you're dealing with in Florida. That's all it is. And hopefully in the next election, he's gone. Him and Trump and DeSantis can all go vacation somewhere.
We can put them in the Running Man, and
that would be nice.
There you go. So.
All right. Well, I think unless anybody has anything else for the Running Man, I think that'll do it for our discussion. Does anybody have anything else they want to bring up?
No, I'm good. If you're listening to this, I hope you keep listening for another year. It's been a great year.
Yep.
Thank you, peoples.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. That's all I have to say.
Is it Stephen King September? Is it actually happening?
Well, I mean, we are watching Maximum Overdrive next for the movie of the week. We're going to commit. Okay.
But what's after that?
Oh, shit.
Oh, we've still got to make a decision on that number there. But so definitely watching Maximum Overdrive for the next movie of the week. So you have that to look forward to. If you are listening, if you like this episode, please make sure you like it, share it, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Check out our YouTube channel. You can catch my review of the 2021 version of Candyman up now, and you can hear my thoughts on that. And you can see me doing a few other things there on the YouTube channel. And until next time, be kind. Rewind!
It's over.
Look out.
My life is over.
You've been listening to the VHS Files Podcast.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
If you like what you heard, please subscribe and drop us a rating and a review wherever you get your podcast.
It was fun.
Send your questions, comments, and movie suggestions to vhsfilespodcast@gmail.com.
You sick fucks, you've seen one too many movies.
Don't you blame the movies!
Follow us on all social media outlets at VHS Files Podcast.
Movies don't create psychos!
Check out our YouTube channel for more content.
Movies make psychos more creative!
Thanks for listening.
Is Jenny talking shit about me? I can't hear it.
Mm-hmm. Was his name John Kimball? Did he teach kindergarten after this?
I'm Detective John Kimball. I'm a cop, you idiot.
It's not a tumor.
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
You're gonna die if you don't,
Like just quick, like the stupid, I'm inventing lines that aren't in the film. But the point is,